I'm never going to forgive you. That's the last thing I said to my best friend of 2 years ago. Before he slept with one of my friends in my bed at my house while I was right there. So I was pretty mad about it, yeah. Did I mean what I said at the time? Yeah. But, spoilers, I did forgive him. Forgiveness. That's what I want to talk to you guys about today. I want to tell you why you should forgive. First of all, if you don't, it hurts. It really sucks to hold those negative emotions. Secondly, when you do, it makes you feel better. Get it off your chest. Maybe tell a friend, somebody that is a professional at helping you sort out your problems. And then third of all, it allows you to move on, and you're no longer hindered by this terrible thing that's happened to you, whatever it is. So I just wanted to start off with a few quotes from philosophy about revenge and forgiveness. The first one was with Buddha. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And this definitely rings true. When I was mad at him, I had cut him off after I started ranting, so it really wasn't hurting anybody except for myself to just be mad about it. Forgiveness is just another name for freedom. It is from the author Byron Katie. And it's suggesting that once you forgive, you have lifted this cloud from your shoulders, that you're no longer burdened by that. You've let it go. It's no longer holding you down. There's no revenge so complete as forgiveness, from Josh Billings. And that is suggesting that it's best if you let go, because when they come back to ask for forgiveness and they're waiting around to see if they're worried that you still have negative feelings, they're going to be looking over their back every 5 minutes to see if you've actually forgiven them. But it's already out of your mind. It's not even there anymore. My last one is my favorite. Everybody uses it. You probably heard it before. Karma's a bitch. And that's just to suggest that you don't have to go, retaliating, because in some philosophies, it's expected that eventually you're going to get your comeuppance for, doing all your dirty stuff. And so I have a video to share with you guys about grudges and why you shouldn't hold them. Why forgiveness is better. But before I start, has anyone ever gotten mad behind the wheel?
No.
No?
No, craziness.
Okay. So, it might be a short-lived one, but we all hold grudges, and that's one of the biggest ones that all of us as a collective hold. According to a study done by AAA, 78% of people self-report that they've committed some act of road rage, varying from honking to outright getting out of their car and yelling at the guy. So this is an extreme case, but here it goes. I'll go back. So, what we missed here was that the cyclist actually came up behind the guy's car and kicked his bumper. And that's why he swerved into the cyclist, and the cyclist got out of the way just in time, and then he spun out of the way, and it's just a load of downward problems for everybody. He got arrested eventually, the cyclist, for abandoning the situation. But it's why it's really important to confront these problems with reason instead of letting it build up until you explode. So I'm going to move on to my second point. When you actually let it go, it makes you feel so much better. When I got my problem with my best friend out of the way, I felt amazing. It was a feeling I hadn't experienced in a long time. And I mostly talked to friends about it. And that's what this is about, is talking it out. If you talk to people about your problems instead of just keeping them bottled up inside, it's a relief. Let yourself feel, and you'll feel so much better after the fact. And this is definitely true because we have jobs just for this. We have psychiatrists, counselors. They're paid to do this, to talk to us through our feelings so that we don't explode later. And so finally, it allows you to move on. Well, first, let's talk about what forgiveness is. By definition, it means you're ceasing negative emotions and feelings toward an offender, according to Webster. And so, when you do so, that doesn't necessarily mean that you forget about it and just move on with your life. Or maybe you reconcile your friendship. Maybe, that might not be appropriate. But what is appropriate is that you get rid of those negative feelings. Because once you do, you can reconcile if you would like to. If you want to make friends with this person, but this one thing that they did you wrong for, then if you can just talk that out with them, suddenly you can move on from that. So forgive, but don't forget, because this is something that's happened once. Be mindful that it could happen again. Don't put negative feelings towards it, though. So I'd like to finish by saying that please make sure that you forgive somebody before it's too late. I never gave my best friend the chance. He ended up dying before I even talked to anybody about it. I just kept it bottled in, and he went on with his own life, and he ended up taking his own life. But I'm giving you guys the chance to stop that from happening for yourselves. Forgive and move on so that it doesn't burden you more than it has to. Move on so that you can, forgive so that you can feel better. Forgive so that you don't feel bad anymore. And forgive so that you can move on. We're all college students. So if we forgive, then we can move on to our future. We all have a future if we're here. We all have an idea. So let's stop telling stories. Let's go make them. Thank you.